Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Fargo Season 2, Episode 1, Waiting for Dutch. I don't know who Dutch is. Thank you so much to Albert for sponsoring Season 2. He sponsored Season 1 and now sponsoring Season 2. I'm very excited to get to see what happens. I know each season is sort of self-contained, so I'm not expecting any characters. And I think they might even jump around time periods, so I don't know whether this is going to be in the past or in the future compared to the previous season of Fargo. But it's probably... what I'm gathering from the last one as well is it's not necessarily going to be set in Fargo, maybe it will, but it's kind of in the surrounding area. So I'm just excited to get involved, not really to get involved with all the murders, but to see what murders are coming and just what shenanigans this series is going to get us into. I think some people commenting on my YouTube reactions to Season 1 said that they thought Season 2 was the best season, so I've really enjoyed Season 1, so I'm very excited to see this. So a quick reminder that if you are watching this on YouTube, you can find the unedited version of these reactions up on my Patreon, and you get those 2 weeks in advance. Is it 2 weeks in advance? Yes, we do get those 2 weeks in advance. Ignore me. Get those 2 weeks in advance and you can get the edited version 1 week in advance. And a huge thank you to Albert again for sponsoring this. And these will be out every Thursday. I just have to double check. I can tell the days of the week. This will be every Thursday. So yeah, I don't know what's with me today. Brain on to do the reaction. Let's go. Was that actually one of the films he was in? 1979.
Well, you know, maybe I needed it for me, for something.
Oh dear.
You earn for the family, not for yourself.
Till you prove you're a man.
I'm a man.
You're the comic in a piece of bubble gum.
So this just seems like a very competent crime family at the
Well,
moment.
I mean, says...
Definitely not a criminal hideout. No criminal families live here with our guns. Is he having a stroke? Death of the king. Is that the king is dead long live the king? Or is the king comatose? That's a really dumb place to keep the gun.
Typewriter with patented high-speed type ball. They're not just for women anymore.
And you're sure we're the only...
Sole distributor Midwest region.
Oh, is he... Did he put all the money into here? Too many shady things happen on these roads. Is the dad dead? Or just ill? Oh, that's gonna really help.
Sugar? You're freaking me out a little.
He's trying to stalk a judge. Honestly. There goes. At least some potential casualties if he does end up shooting up the place.
Or what?
Mm.
We'll find out is what. This isn't
She doesn't seem like someone easily intimidated.
Change your mind. Look, bitch. I know what to do.
Yes!
Oh, crap.
I liked her. You are brave. Running away would have been the best strategy. And don't announce that you're coming. You should have run away out the back. Like I said, it's a good job the family had left. They will be witnesses in the case, but... She's not dead! See, her best bet would have been to play dead. I don't know whether it was a fatal but slow wound she had, but her best bet would have been to play dead. Because now she's definitely dead. You can't reach it, that's really funny. So it'll look like a robbery now, plus he'll be able to just have the cash. Oh god. Oh god. This poor lady. Playing dead would have been a better bet again. But it's kind of like fight or flight or just wanting to find someone to help. Oh god. You're a piece of shit. So the aliens are coming for you. Is he just high? Was it just car headlights? Was he just dark and he was... Are they gonna drive off? Sorry, it's not funny. It's really not funny. What the fuck is happening in this show? It'd be cool if this was Molly and her dad.
Compared to what? 12 Canal?
Plenty of time to ask them before. It is the Solversons, yes!
Yeah, okay.
Is this the case that cost him his job or made him stop wanting to be a police officer, because I know he got involved in some sort of shenanigan and then stopped being a police officer. I don't remember all the details. But he obviously survives this, which is good. Molly obviously survives this, which is good, unless that's like an older sister of hers that died. I don't know about her mother. They didn't seem to mention her from my memory, so maybe she'll die. I don't know. Stress. But I like the connection between the two. God, it's just horrific, isn't it?
She's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds me, you're invited for dinner tomorrow.
Focus on your murder, people. Is there any broken glass? Or aliens?
There's a shoe in that tree. Sure.
Who are these people?
The girl in
My god, this man would be a QAnon supporter.
something small, like a break-in at the Watergate Hotel. But just watch. This thing's only getting bigger.
It is, but not for the reasons you think.
The young daughter.
Yeah, you're like not the most affected person here in this moment.
Pulled out for 5.5 years ago.
What is this? Oh, just there's so many. I love how this show works because there's just so many random pieces.
You think there was an accomplice?
Quieter voices.
Your dad called.
No wonder Molly became the police officer she is. Because it's grandfather, father,
Before he goes to bed.
plus parents talking about it very loudly.
Because we're doing great, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh
And
dear.
that's me, you know, as a person.
Yeah.
She's gonna leave you. That's what that sounds like.
I was interested in maybe you take over the salon one day. You know, unless we got...
She wants more, I'm thinking, I'm afraid.
Oh shoot!
I don't know.
No, it's fine. I'm such a bum sometimes.
What is happening?
Here?
There's clearly someone in your house. Oh, she killed someone.
Huh?
And he's still alive in here. Oh, that's how they're connected. She knows he's in there. What is she doing?
Insurance should cover most...
Actually, I think.
Oh, this is so scary. With the flickering torch. Oh, stop with the flickering torch, please.
Jeez.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, God, now they've probably murdered him. And like that from him was self-defense, but with what she's done, it makes it look like he did it intentionally. Oh. Did you see all the bodies? No. The bodies were right there. So she was too in the shot from what she'd done.
What was I supposed to do?
Go to the police or the hospital.
I ran over him, hit and run, and then you stabbed him with a gardening
Yeah,
tool. The cops. Do you think they're gonna believe
You're
us?
gonna get found out. That's how this show
People are
works.
gonna look for him.
Go to California?
It's her dream. She's gonna leave him.
Here.
Is she gonna leave him here and then he'll be the one left in the mess?
Okay then.
Oh goodness. I mean, you can see how a good person could get swayed by this
And no family.
and can't get dragged in just out of self-preservation,
No
but
kids.
just tell the police the truth. If only she'd spotted the bodies, you could have said I saw him shoot the woman and then I hit him with the car.
We clean it up.
Good luck. It's Fargo.
Headquartered in Fargo, ND.
Are these the criminals that grow into the Enterprise from the later film?
Old Otto had a stroke yesterday. In
How do they know?
Compound in North Dakota.
Spies?
Who in charge? She's tough, but you know, a girl. And then there are the 3 sons.
One's dead.
Operation.
Oh, I've got research. What is this criminal gang?
And if you
Okay, so I absolutely love that episode. I love Fargo. It was less of a shock to the system than the first episode of the season 1 because, like, in season 1 I didn't know what to expect, whereas with this one it was kind of okay. And I think they did a really good job of kind of thrusting you into 1979. I don't know very much about that era. I am a huge history fan, but modern history, it's too recent. I don't find it interesting, so I don't really know much about that. and I didn't even recognise Eisenhower, but I'm assuming that was Eisenhower because they mentioned him later in that speech at the beginning. So yeah, there's a lot going on. We know that the Gerhardt family are currently, they've been the head of crime in this area since the 30s. I'm guessing, though I may be wrong, that the people that are coming in on their territory, the people we saw at the end, might be the same people that were like in Fargo in the 2005, like kind of they had the crime thing from this period of time and then they're going to take it from this period of time, but they also could be totally unrelated. But they're kind of a crime family that's been doing things a certain way and they're losing touch, they're losing money because new people are coming in and they either need to update how they do things or they're going to die. Now they're already 2 down. Otto may survive. I guess he wasn't quite dead, but the useless one is dead. And yeah, I think at first I was thinking, oh, is this season just going to be like about the crime family with them as the main characters? And obviously they're part of it, a huge part of it. And we saw that piece of shit trying to do his typewriter deal. And it's kind of one of those things where, from our side of it, trying to puzzle out how you would solve the case. For definite, you would need to look into the last customers. I assume in the 70s they wouldn't have like credit card info or anything, but maybe they'd have. So like, I think you pay with cash as well. Like, I don't know when credit cards became a thing, to be honest. But they wouldn't be able to track in the same way they did now, but would they have to put out an appeal for witnesses? Like, was anyone eating in this diner around this time? Or, you know, did you see anything on that day? Kind of, I guess, is what you'd have to do. That family is probably a local family that popped out for dinner. Maybe they'd see it and come forward and they could describe the guy they saw. But then again, I don't know how you piece that together. Now, potentially, if they work out when they ID the judge, then they're going to have to work out whether it was just a robbery gone wrong or whether it was a hit on the judge, you know, or someone just targeting the judge because she was the judge. And obviously we know it's the latter. And then they'd have to start looking into her cases, and then they might eventually be able to trace it back to the Gerhardt. Was he Bear? Was that his name? I don't remember. And yeah, he's seen the weird glowing light. I'm assuming that was just that he was high and freaked out and his brain just saw a light and played tricks on him. But yeah, I'm not sad that he's dead in any way, shape or form. I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, because like for a crime family to stay as powerful as these ones are, I don't think you can just murder willy-nilly like that. I think you need to be smarter. I don't know that confronting the judge in a public restaurant was a smart move. Following her home maybe even, or, you know, forcing her car to pull over the side of the road, getting her alone. Those are the kind of criminal places you'd think, I watch too much TV. So I'm guessing that, like, the others aren't quite as murdery as him, but also they will kill to get the thing done. But what are they going to do when they figure out he's missing? Are they going to guess he did the shootout? There are so many pieces. Are they just going to think he didn't have the money, he was scared for his life, so he vanished, like he went on the run? Is his body going to get found? I'm really intrigued to see kind of what angles the story takes. I absolutely love that it's Molly's dad, that we are getting to see the Solversons again. He's going to solve her son. It just really... I really like it, and I'm guessing that this is the situation he described because I know, I don't remember all the details because it wasn't the part I focused on, but I know in season 1 he would kind of refer back to how he had this really awful case with all of these bodies, and I think he said he mucked it up or it didn't go well, so maybe they won't catch the bad guys in this one, or maybe there'll just be a lot of innocent casualties along the way or something, and that's what sort of pushed him out of policing. So although I'm really sad that, like, I definitely think Molly's mother is going to die, maybe I don't remember whether Molly discussed what happened to her mother or not, but she wasn't in it. Again, like, because it wasn't one of the relevant details to the main show, I don't remember, but she may well die from this cancer or die as a collateral damage in the violence going on. But at least we know that kind of her dad is gonna, you know, not be totally happy because he's gonna lose his wife most likely, but he's gonna get to watch his daughter grow up to be an amazing woman. She's gonna fall in love. He's gonna get a ready-made granddaughter and then have at least one more grandchild, and that is just kind of their family's everything. So kind of, I feel like I don't have the same terror I did in season 1 that the cop and his family were gonna die, because I'm pretty sure the mummy's gonna die. So although I don't want that to happen, I'm like, well, yeah, she's no longer for this world. I can kind of brace myself for it, and then I know that he and his daughter should survive, unless they're like, this is an alternate universe to season 1, and they can all die, in which case, I hate you, because why would you do that? So that was just a really great reveal, and kind of seeing that policing is truly in Molly's blood, and good policing, not, you know, the bad apples, which are many in policing. And then we have the couple. I don't remember their names, and I was trying to work out, obviously I was intrigued to find out how they were linked. I'm annoyed it didn't occur to me that one of them could have hit. I kind of thought he might have been the one to hit with the car. I don't know why I didn't think she could have been the one to hit with the car, but I love that whole everything because it's so Fargo. I mean, in season 1 we had literally just forgotten his name. It wasn't Leroy. So with my Emmy, my memory is not what it used to be. But you know, he kind of started off as just this unassuming man who quickly turned violent and awful. Whereas I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with these characters. Now, at the moment, the one that I have more sympathy for is the husband, because his wife has he seems like he's just a simple man with simple desires. You know, he just wants to take over the butcher shop, to have, you know, his all-American life, to have 2.5 kids and a dog, and have a wife that's at home cooking for him, which, you know, is a bit sexist, but it was 79. You know, I'm a firm advocate that that like, it should be like, either whichever member is more interested in cooking of the couple that cooks, or you both should cook. But that kind of dinner ready when you get home. But anyway, that she clearly wasn't into the whole concept of settling down, having a family, working in the salon while he has the butcher shop, that she wanted something else. And I could definitely see it kind of being a case that in her life she didn't really have any other options. Maybe at some point she will run off to California. I mean, I know she's like one of the well-known faces in the show, but you know, maybe she's going to run off and leave him at some point because that's her dream. But she is the one that I'm most scared about. I guess you kind of think she was in shock, but she drove home. She had the sense to drive down the back roads. So she was thinking clearly enough to drive down the back road. She was thinking clearly enough to try and just get through dinner, get him to bed, make sure that he doesn't find anything out, then she would just deal with it the next day. She wasn't going to involve him. And she's very lucky that he ended up having to kill the guy, because I don't know that he would have been able to convince her otherwise. And I think if he hadn't stabbed him, they might even have to call the police, and yeah, she'd have had to face whatever she had to face for the hit and run. But if she said, not that they know that, but it was dark, he was outside the Waffle Hut, I didn't see him. I mean, it was fairly bright there. I don't know whether we're meant to think it was darker for her than it was for us, but it was fairly bright there. But anyway, it would be far less bad than getting caught trying to cover it up if they just said she drove home in shock and she didn't even tell, she was completely in shock. Like, they could kind of spin it in a way that would make the best of the bad situation. You know, as much as I can understand the human instinct of, well, if we just cover it up, I won't get in any trouble and it won't affect my life at all. I can totally understand that instinct. I think the right thing to do is to go to the police. The right thing to do when you've hit someone is to, you know, call an ambulance or drive to a hospital and call, just get help, because what if he's alive, as he was? They could have saved him and then he could have faced justice for murdering 3 people. But with her, you kind of feel like she had a moment where she kind of lost herself, but also that she seemed very calculating in everything she did, even in how she persuaded him to help. Now, for his sake, he just saw a deranged man in the house right after he'd been freaked out that his wife had hit a deer, a deranged, bloody, grunting man who tried to stab him. So if that altercation had happened out on the street, he could have said, or it would have been argued, or even in the house when the wife hadn't hit him, self-defense. In his mind, scary man broken into home, scary man trying to stab me, I stab scary man. That was all that kind of his fight or flight instinct was. But the fact that his wife hit him with the car, took him home, and then he stabbed him really doesn't look good. There is no way I think you can spin that. You know, the only way you would spin that would be for the wife to fully, on a stand, say everything she did, to confess that, he didn't really do anything, you know, I thought he was dead, I brought him home, I was panicking, and my husband, they could still go to the police. I still think they should do that. I think, from a purely selfish point of view, if you don't want to think about doing the right thing, which is obviously initially trying to get help for the man, and then B, going to the police when it's happened, even if you take out doing the right thing out of the equation, you are most likely going to get caught. So when that happens, if you've been up front, you get a better shot at getting out okay the other side of it. So I feel really sorry for him, because he was just a simple man who wanted simple things, and his life, as far as he was concerned, was doing quite well, other than the fact that his wife did not seem keen to have children. And now God knows what they're going to get into. And then if the Gerhardts ever find out they killed him, I mean, as much as he was the smallest fish in the sea, he was still one of them and one of the family, and they're not going to take it very nicely that someone killed him, even if they kind of got rid of a problem for them by the fact that he just shot up a Waffle House. So much is happening in this. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring season 2. I don't know when I would have been able to get to it otherwise. And yeah, I am so excited to see where the rest of the season goes. I'm kind of relieved that the characters I like most, I'm kind of aware they're going to probably be okay. Although I'm bracing myself for potential sadness with Molly's mother. But yeah, this was a truly fantastic show. Thank you, episode. Thank you so much for watching.